what's up, scrubs? And I know, another Yu-Gi-Oh series, I know. I'm not even going to be able to keep up with all these, but it's okay. They're just going to be a ways to organize when I do which Yu-Gi-Oh content, because I want to do it. But not as much as I do Fire, well, maybe not as much, but I want to balance it with that, you know? But anyway, there's a lot of different ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and a lot of it is very enjoyable. And so, say there's a, tier 0 TCG metagame right now, and you don't want to go into Master Duel and get sacked by Fluanderies. Well, I've got a little format for you. Well, not just one format, but I'm gonna start covering every once in a while. This is probably gonna be the least common series that I do. Just a little retrograde to the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. Just gonna look and play a deck online, probably against Discord opponents that I found or something. Playing some retro decks, and for today we've got September 2011 format, also known as Tengu Plant. This is a pretty common one, not super common. The top three obviously are Goat, Edison, and Hat, which I will probably cover at some point, but this is probably right behind those three. But it's not as popular as it honestly should be, because it's a pretty great format. There's a lot of really cool decks that are available. But if you do want to see constant content revolving around this format, here is TCGRewind.com, where is TCG Rewind's YouTube channel as well. This is where I got the deck list from. He has, of course, a bunch of stuff in here. It's not loading at the moment because my internet is kind of ass right now, and that's why I'm not actually playing in any of the games. I'm doing that in another take. I didn't say anything. Anyway, he's got a whole bunch of info. He's got all of the ban list and stuff in this tab. Everything about it on this website that you could want to get started. And then if you watch on his channel, he uploads pretty constant things about this format. And it's a pretty good format. It really is. Here's obviously his YouTube feed. So go check him out if you like it. But here, let's talk about this deck. This is one of the cool decks that I saw and I wanted to try out. This is Relinquished. I ripped it straight from his thing. So let me give a little card by card. This format is right at the dawn of the Xyz monsters. The mechanic of Xyz summoning has just been established, and it's pretty good, but it's not super dominant. Let's just get Tengu for now. Very nice. Anyway, this is Relinquished, using a shell of Piper Chaos, which is probably my favorite Chaos variant ever. It's very cool. But here we have, of course, the Chaos monsters. One Blackluster Soldier. This was limited, I believe. He has the ban list on his website, by the way, if you want to check it out. 2 Chaos Sorcerer, of course. 1 Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. This is a format staple, always at 1. When you take damage, special summon it from your hand. It's Gores. Woohoo. Tragodia, I mean, there's other stuff with Gores than that effect, but Tragodia is kind of like another one, another staple. These three go together. 2 Tragodia, 1 Gores. Then we got the 3 Relinquished. It's a Relinquished deck. We really like a Relinquished here. And I think Relinquished is a very cool monster. I remember him from the anime when I watched it as a fucking 9-year-old. Well, here he is. Great. It's him. It's him. We got Manju because we are playing a ritual deck, so of course. Tour Guide from the Underworld, a face you might recognize if you played this format in paper, or just ever even heard of this format, or played Burning Abyss, I guess. This card was a solid $150 or something like that during this format, because it's good. It's just a free rank 3, and though these cards do look pretty unassuming, Leviathan Dragon is mostly just a big guy, and Arrow Shark is even less, even though Leviair is still really good and sees play today. By the way, Leviair is one of my favorite generic monsters. He's just so cool, and he's got a fun effect. That's why Tour Guide is so good. You bring it out. Either you can also get your Sangan into rotation if you wish, which you only have one of. Jin Releaser of Rituals. This is legal, and we are playing a ritual deck. But it's not as lockouty as, I don't know, Necroz or some shit when this was banned. This is not as bad, because a lot of special summoning doesn't happen. This format is slow enough. Obviously stuff like Leviathan Shark, or Leviathan Dragon and Arrow Shark are good enough to make, and have a whole engine kind of to make these. A pretty expensive engine at that. It's just, it's pretty, you know, slow enough to where this isn't too bothersome to some decks. Of course, some decks it's pretty damn good against. But it's still pretty outable, which is why I like it in this format. Same with Max C, because that's in this format. Anyway, Sangan is great. Kinkabio, this is a sick card. I love that this is playable. And it's a part of the Piper Chaos thing. Level 1, Spirit. Cannot be special summoned, which basically amounts to me not being able to special it off 1-for-1. Target a level 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. And then it returns to the hand in end phase or something. But that's normally not going to happen. Well, maybe not normally not going to happen. Just, you do it, bring back Piper, use Piper's effect, etc. We'll get into Piper later. Or, bring back Effect Veiler, 1-1, make Formula Synchron, draw a card, and then go into whatever fantastic synchros you want. Mystic Piper's the other half. We're playing 3 of this boy, and he is just a cool card. I love him. Level 1, tribute itself to draw and reveal 1 card, and then if that's a level 1 monster card, draw another once per turn. We are playing a lot of level 1 monsters. Of course, the other copies of Mystic Piper, the Kinkabios, which Mystic Piper is very capable of being summoned by Kinkabio's effect, as I said earlier, so a lot of the times that will happen. And then, so you just get the free plus of Kinkabio, potentially another one if you just draw right, you're lucky little shit like I am. And then, since it's a light and a dark, obviously this will be banished once it's tributed because of Kinkabio's effect. But if you have another dark, or another light, which things like Monju is greatly, and Relinquished is a dark, there's a bunch more darks and stuff. Basically, chaos. Kinkabio, Mystic Piper, Relinquished. All together. It's why I like this deck. DD Crow is here because it's a good hand trap and it's a level 1. Same with Effect Veiler, except Effect Veiler is also a tuner. The only tuner in this deck, in fact, which is kind of weird considering all of the synchros, but these are the good shit. We want to get the good shit here, right? Yeah. The synchros at this time period were considerably better than the Xyz, but the Xyz were considerably easier to make, especially with stuff like, obviously, Tour Guide. That's why the extra deck looks like this. 1-for-1 is great, gets us a Piper, cannot get us a Kinkabio, but can also get us an Effect Veiler if we need a tuner. Fantastic card. Allure of Darkness. We're only on 1. I don't really like this card that much. But this is, I just net decked this. I already told you where I got it from. So maybe find his reasoning for that. I don't actually know it, but there are a lot of darks in this deck. And it's a draw card. Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial. All powerful cards. Foolish Burial can send Jin, because this is ritual fodder from the grave. Or it could send something for a Chaos Monster. Or it could even send a target for Kinkabio. Anything, really. Black Illusion Ritual is the ritual card for Relinquish, only playing 2 because I'm gonna be honest, I do not want to draw this more than twice. And we're probably gonna be adding it off Monju or Prep Rights anyway. MST, is back row removal. Kaiser Coliseum. I don't know, man. It's Kaiser Coliseum. And then Prep Rights because we're playing a graveyard deck. The extra deck has Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Now, A lot of machines are pretty playable in this format, especially Karakuris. By the way, I love Karakuris. In case you couldn't tell from my Master Duel videos that were on my phone from a while ago. Remember those? I love those videos. Rest in peace, Hulk. Should have lived exactly for Karakuris. Anyway, he didn't provide a side deck, because of course, why would he? But I assumed the Sidras were supposed to be in there for the Karakuri matchup, or any other machine-based matchup with this, I guess. Anyway, I also added in 3 Maxis, because even though, like I said, very slow, it's still a good card and can just be used as an upstart goblin if I want it. And more DD Crows in case I play a matchup where DD Crows are good against. I don't know what else is good in the side here, to be honest. Not super familiar with the format, haven't played it too much, but I have watched a lot of content from TCGRewind. Check him out. Anyway, Leviathan Dragon. I already talked about how he's a rank 3. Same with Arrow Shark. He's just a 1900 guy who can burn your opponent. Great for going for game, I guess. Kind of like Cowboy for game. Not great for it, but you know. Leviair is one of the best rank 3s to this day, probably, generically. Detach, target a banished level or 4 monster. Special summon it. That's always going to be good. Now for the power synchros of the format. Trishula, Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Black Rose, Arcanite, Brionac, Hyper Librarian, Catastor, Armory Arm, and of course, Formula, because I already talked about the whole Kinkabio effect failure interaction, or even, I don't know, just any level 1 in effect failure, I guess. Whatever. This is the good shit, so of course we're playing it. But in general, not super extra decky. Mostly Chaos and Relinquished are boss monsters on top of the other things. But anyway, that's going to be it for the deck profile. Let's get into the games. Alright, here's the first match. And gotta say, not very accustomed to this format, of course. Being a new player to the TCG, as well as just kind of the game. When I was playing the game at this time, I had no idea how to play, and I was playing against my homie, and we did not know the rules. We were playing fucking Junior Journey. But, you know, it's a fun format. Just gotta, you know, figure out what the hell I'm doing. But I think I got better at it as time went on, in just these 3 duels, honestly. And you can probably see that. Anyway, let's start it. So, here's my hand. This is a good hand, I think. The Allure might have to do some kind of work. The Allure and the Piper. I hope I don't have to... I'm not sure what to banish off of the Allure here. I don't remember if I do Piper or Allure first. Guess we'll have to see. I am going second as well, by the way. He allures, and he banishes Caius off of it. And this is like a Dimensional Alchemist deck. Yeah. So, wait. Let's go back a bit. I press fast forward here. So I allure here. And I banish the Jin, but I do draw 1/1. For turn, which is sick. And I draw Dark Hole and Prep Rights off of the thing, which is good. I'm gonna be honest here. Wait a minute, did I? I just fucking didn't banish for Allure. I'm a cheater. Wow. Oh well. Fucking, oh well. I should have banished the Relinquished because I could search off Prep Rights, but that's okay. I 1/1 pitching the Jin for a Piper, and then I draw its MST, then I MST his back row, which is an MST. Yeah, I fucked this whole thing up, but hard once per turn, I Piper, and then he lets me take these backsies, and I just set the Prep as a bluff and pass, and then he Dimensional Alchemists and stuff. Gets in with Spirit Reaper. I was not expecting that, and he hits Piper out of my hand. and that sucks. Yeah, it was a rough start. I do get the Dark Hole off, which is cool. He adds back a Caius. And I pressed the wrong button there, which is hilarious. Get in with Leviathan. He faders, and then he tributes for Caius, and then he hits the back row. Yeah, that sucks. And then he gets an extra attack because he beat over my Leviathan. But I do have Gores to stop that. And then I top deck a Manju. That is fucking crazy top deck. I add the Black Illusion Ritual. Do it, and I banish that, and he instantly scoops. And game 2. Not all of these are full sets. This hand. It's decent, I think. It's okay. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Manju gets well, it probably won't get as much because he's got Valor, but we've got an MST, just, you know, because MST. We've got Allure for more draws, and then a Relinquished that's okay to be pitched. And a Manju to search Black Illusion. He dualities and grabs Sangan. And then he actually resolves Allure correctly, and he pitches he banishes his Sangan, and then he normals Dimensional Alchemist. I Allure, and I do it correctly this time, and I pitch the Relinquish, and I draw Prep Rights for turn, but Trag and Sangan, which is sick. Anyway, normal the Manju. It gets Valored, which sucks. I said whatever that was. Allure is still on the field. That's weird. Alk for Sangan. Sangan, enemy controller my Manju. Yikes. And then he adds DD Crow. Pokes in with my Manju. Come back. Sangan, just get in. Just get in. Chaos Sork banishing, I think it was Sangan and Valor. And he banishes my Sangan. I'm getting my Schmeat schmacked here at the moment. He Leviers back his Sangan, walks over my Manju, and attacks in. I do have Trag. I Allure Senjin. And then I emit defeat, and he leaves. That was that match. I obviously played that not very well, but whatever. Anyway, this hand. So this guy, I don't remember what this guy was playing. Fuck. Oh, I think he was just playing Dandy. Or he was playing Tengu Plant. He was just playing Tengu Plant. Which is a sick deck, by the way, in my opinion. This hand is pretty fucking bad. Manju doesn't do a whole lot for us at the moment, but, you know, we got a top deck. And that could sure fix it. And Trag was not what we wanted to see. But we normal the Manju. We add the wrong card because I misclicked. And I just add the Black Illusion. But then he normals Tengu, gets over, flips the Sangan. That's bad. But I do have Trag. I normal, get Relinquished. Then I Black Illusion, he maxes. I Relinquished, get his Tengu, and walk over his Sangan. I just figured I might as well let him get the search here. I don't have a clean out to it in any sort of capacity. But he gets the search into the Lone Fire and Trag in as well for a big chunk. He Dark Holes and then... So he Dark Holes, right? That clears my entire board. Fuck, you know? He also gets the trigger off of me stealing his Tengu, which, you know, sucks, but I kind of had to do it. You know, it just sucks that he's able to punch me so hard for it, and then he normals a Lone Fire he got from Sangan, and yeah. I think it was still probably the right play to attack into the Sangan, because I imagine if he hadn't, he would have just crashed it anyway. And or just sat on it until he had even better follow-up to it, which maybe by then he also if he sat on it I could have gotten a better out to it, but you know, shit happens. But then he normals a Lone Fire, gets the Spore, and that's bad for me. He makes Hyper Librarian, he gets another Tengu. I Valor the Librarian. I don't want him going Mega Plus here. And he just attacks in. That's a lot of damage for me. He's now in the life point lead. I do have Gores, which is, you know, fucking fantastic for me. Then he banishes the Lone Fire with Spore, synchros off with the Tengu to make scrap. Yeah, bye bye. I draw Kinka for turn, and that's... I don't remember what my grave looks like at this point in the game, but it can potentially be good. If anything, it's a 1-for-1 pitch. I normal it. Oh, yep, I get fucked here. He has the Crow for my effect failure. I would have made formula with this, but no, I don't get to. I accidentally reveal the Kinka. He just reborns and kills me, and I die. Yeah. You can tell that I don't really get it until a bit later. Sorry about that. It appears this is a different aspect ratio. How did that happen? I'm just gonna fix that real quick. Not aspect ratio. What am I talking about? It's just different dimensions. Look at that. All nice and pretty again. I highly urge you to check out this format and play some for yourself. There's also a few discords for this, actually. There's the format library discord, which is just for, in general, like retro format Yu-Gi-Oh. But there's also one called Tengu Plant Town, and there's one called Tengu, what is it? I don't remember. I'll put it in the description maybe if I remember to. But this is the most fun match I had, and this is also the one where I definitely feel like I got my shit together with it, with the format and with the deck, and I'm really happy with myself. This was a very fun game. It was only a best of one, but it took a solid 25 minutes, but it was a good back and forth. And my opponent was playing Skull Servants, of all things. Don't mind my mouse. So here's the hand. Yikes. It's decent, I guess. Normal Piper, Tribute, and then prep. I can't prep for... The biggest problem here is that I don't have a way to get Relinquished on field yet. Unless I draw something with Piper. Unless I draw Black Illusion with Piper, exactly. Yikes. Oh well. I also don't really like Kaiser Coliseum in this deck. I mean, I get why. I just don't like it. But this is Sacha YH. I'm not in fast forward mode yet, so I guess we get to think more, but I do switch it to fast forward mode. He sets 3, and I am scared. But I draw BLS for turn. I mean, it doesn't get my plays started, but maybe eventually it's going to do something good. I just Piper, get the draw. It's Sangan. I mean, it's cool to see Sangan, but not right now. Then the stuff gets going. I set the Kaiser. I'm not sure why I did that, but he sets another, and I just normaled the Sangan and passed. I didn't want to attack in. Didn't want it to be like deep prison or something, dimensional prison. So he just gets to out my Sangan for free, and I feel like an idiot. But he flips Raikou and pops the set Kaiser. Again, don't know why I did that. And then he mills 3, and he mills the charge, he mills BLS, and he mills a King of the Skull Servants here, I believe. And I was like, oh, he's on skulls. Oh. Anyway, I just get another... So, I obviously have a very good play on my hands here. I've got Tour Guide, which represents a Leviair, and I have obviously some Chaos Monsters in my hand. But I want to hold off on it. First off, because I don't have a Dark in my grave yet. But secondly, because I want to banish the Sangan and then Leviair it back. So I just normal the Piper for now, get the draw. It's a prep. And then I have to I want to take the risk here to walk over the Raikou, because I don't want him having that body on the board. And and I might as well get, I guess, 800 damage in. And maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe there's risk reward there that I'm not seeing. I felt that it was justified. I'm not sure what Skull Servants can really do. Maybe I should have just switched my Sangan to defense. I don't even know. I know Skull Servants can put out a lot of damage. I just wanted to... Maybe he had like a book or something, and I didn't want him to get more pops off of that and more mills. Anyway, he double Needlebug next. And I can't really show you what he mills off this, but they're not fantastic mills. I mean, you can see milled card destruction here. But he does mill... I think he mills some... he mills like 2 Zombie Masters. He mills like a few White Mares. He mills a King. He mills like a Lady in White. Yeah, he gets a few names in the grave. Book of Life. I saw a Kinkabio. And then he just normals King and gets in. And I forget, actually. He has 3 names in grave right now. He's got like a White Mare, a Lady in White, and a King. And I actually... Wait, no. He's got 2 Kings. Yeah. I forget that King actually counts. So I take more damage. And I just search Valor off of it, because I imagine that's my best play to kind of insulate this huge crackback I'm about to make. So a normal tour guide. Get a tour guide, overlay for Levier, BLS, banish Sangan and Piper. Levier, bring back the Sangan, banish. So I banished the King because I just wanted it gone, and also it was big. Maybe there was some world where I attacked twice, but I figured that one of these was probably another Raikou, because I imagined he was playing 3 of those. Or a Nimble Hamster, maybe. I don't even know. And I attack him with Levier, and it's a Lady in White. He Mazakis here, and he brings back this King, and I Valor it so it loses attack. Now, he could have just... So, what I was worried here was that he would attack... He would crash the 0 attack King, and then use the effect to banish something to reborn it, but if he did that, he could not get over BLS. I believe that put him at 3,000 if he did that, and even though crashing was in his favor, it was better than me not having an out to it. But what he does after that is he normals Kinka, and he specials back a White Mare, and he flips Plague Spreader, and he sinks off. He tries to go to Hot S, but he that requires zombie non-tuners. But what little note here, I tried to I thought that White Mare got banished because of Kinka, but I actually read it wrong. And the thing that it summons get banished when Kinka leaves the field. And since they left the field at the post time, it does not happen. Very cool. Yeah, very nice. Anyway, he makes Cataster, and he has the Reborn for King. And I was so scared at this point. He Catasters, and he pops my BLS, and he walks in for... he has a huge King at the moment. He beats over my Levier. Yikes. I do have still plays in my hand. Here's a little misplay, and I even say it in the chat over here. I forgot to drag. I just forgot I had him in my hand. I don't think it mattered too much. I wind up banishing, I think, BLS and Tour Guide for Sork, and as much as I really wanted to banish the King here, I didn't really have many other outs to Cataster, so I just kind of had to deal with him. Maybe I should have just banished the King, because my out to Cataster could have been Relinquished, but seeing as I don't have a way to summon Relinquished yet, which was a problem, I just never had... Since pre-prep can search Relinquished, I never had any way... Sometimes I just didn't have Black Illusion Ritual in rotation, and I just kept bricking on these pre-preps, or not pre-preps, these preps, that I couldn't, like, I could search the Relinquished with, but I couldn't do anything with the Relinquished, or the, and since there wasn't a Black Illusion engrave, I couldn't, like, recycle that, and it just sucked, but, you know, that was just the luck of the draw. I still think the ratios are probably correct in this deck. I do think you want Maybe you could cut down to 2 prep rights, but at the end of the day, I know a lot less about this format than TCGRewind did, and again, I net decked him. Go check out his channel. Unfortunate. Oh well. I had to banish the Catastor here. I just switched Sangan to defense. He walks over my Chaos Sork. I'm at low life. I trag here. So, King of the Skull Servants is a level 1. I just tragged to try to pitch Relinquished to take control of his king. Could you imagine if that worked? That would have been so funny. Unfortunately, he does have the Veiler there. And I just pass, and he walks over my trag, and he sets, and I draw Black Illusion Ritual. And this is where I kind of start getting back in the game a bit. I definitely feel like I had a grasp on this game this time. Normally, I would see these prep rights, and my brain would go, ooh, deck thin. But I think it was the correct play to leave the Relinquished in deck as a Mystic Piper target at least, and to wait until I could recycle Black Illusion Rituals. So here's what I did. I Foolished for a Djinn. I Black Illusioned, banished the Djinn for a Relinquished, and I equip this boy. So unfortunately he still has 0 attack, but you know. And then I pre-prep to add a Relinquished, and then add back the Black Illusion Ritual. I don't actually have any more Relinquished left in deck though, so I just set this as a bluff, because why not? He Burials here, and I am scared. That's a Mizuki and a King, and also Catastor. He normals Skull Servant and walks over my 0 attack Relinquish to get his king back. And I put in chat, that is so sad. That is so sad. Oh well, he's still here. I Kinka, bring back the Effect Failure, make Formula, draw the other Black Illusion. Where were you earlier? And I accidentally misclick and declares effect again. But then I just sync off with the Sangan, make Catastor, Sangan, search DD Crow. Relinquished, take the Lady in White. Walk over Skull Servant. I again don't understand things. I said you don't lose life points, I think. It's mandatory. He said it's a dark. Oh fuck, I'm tired, sorry. Yeah, oh well. I'm a little dumb. He just passes. I draw Kaiser Coliseum, which doesn't work very well when you have 2 monsters and your opponent has none. But I guess maybe I should have played it so that my opponent couldn't go wide, per se. Anyway, just kind of attack in, and he Veilers my Relinquished here so that he gets the Lady in White back at the end of main. And I just switched Relinquished, who is naked and afraid, to defense, so I don't get bonked with King. He just normals Goblin Zombie and walks over it. I banish a Kinka and a Piper for Chaos Orc. Perfect out to this Goblin Zombie, by the way. Get in. I forget that Chaos Orc can't attack, so I miss lethal, but I still... This adds to hand, doesn't it? It doesn't special. I missed lethal, didn't I? I am just now realizing that. Fuck. Well, I've got a lot to learn still. Anyway, he Mizuki's here, but I have the DD Crow for it. He White-mares to bring it back, and then with this 7k king, whacks me dead. And he, she, I don't know what Sacha gender is, but they kill me. They kill me dead, and they unfortunately don't have time for a rematch, but we both agreed that was a great match, and we moved on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Tengu Plant format Relinquished. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoy more of this in the future, and please check out Tengu Plant format in general. Great format, lots of super cool decks. Maybe we'll cover some more in the future. Like, you saw that Skull Servant, there was the Dimensional Alchemist, there's obviously Relinquished, there's just Piper Chaos without the Relinquished stuff, which is, you know, better than the deck I'm playing. There's stuff like Karakuri. I love me some Karakuris. There's zombies. I love zombies. Some of my favorite decks of all time are very cool. Just have very cool play styles, and this is a very cool format in my opinion. And it's very slow and back and forth, like you probably saw with that last match. Anyway, see ya. Just see ya. See ya. See ya. Bye.